Then you get a digital one that is somehow implanted somewhere on some.
Kenya with this tracking device. And the Kenyan government is letting him do it.
Before your baby leaves the hospital, you no longer get a paper birth certificate, but then you get a digital one that is somehow implanted somewhere on somebody's body.
Where every Kenyan don't have to carry any paper.
This is the president of Kenya, a real insider. Let me bring this back. Bring this back.
He's in Kenya with this tracking device.
Or what he
Going right. Bill Gates is in Africa right now. He got this experiment where they're going to implant newborn babies in Kenya with this tracking device.
See, now you had IUIC go out to Africa, and now he can't go back to Kenya because he don't want to get, his ass whipped. Like his men got his ass, got shit thrown at him. Or he kind of banned from Kenya, so they can't get to these people. But even if they were able to go in there freely by the orders of the president, he's not going to tell them about the Motb.
He got this experiment where they're going to implant newborn babies in Kenya.
See, even Umar Johnson is up on game. What's wrong with y'all?
With this tracking device. And the Kenyan government is letting him do it.
Before your baby leaves the hospital,
Kenya, digital ID, Mark of the Beast, roll out in December of all newborn babies. Now this is on this day. Okay, this is an old news clip from we're talking about two years ago, almost to the day, November 20th, 2023. So here we're in less than a month and a week. It'll be 2026. Kenya, digital ID, Mark of the Beast rollout in December for all new born babies. They have yet to do it, but they've been talking about it since 2023.
you no longer get a paper birth certificate, but then you get a digital one that is somehow implanted somewhere on somebody's body.
Where every Kenyan.
This guy is just straight up he's a straight up insider. And they don't know the scriptures. Like I said, IUIC going out there, one of the subjects you should have taught them that about the Motb, but you don't.
Any paper, plastic or otherwise, as an ID.
Credit cards, everything gonna be in your chip, in your body. He definitely made that deal.
That they should be able to be identified digitally using their iris or their fingerprints, and we can transact without the necessity.
Right, that's biometrics. But they're actually going to, eventually, it's going to go beyond palm print, thumb print, iris, scan, and it's going to be an actual physical chip the size of a grain of rice. So it could be a different shape, but it's going to be a physical thing. So you other camps is teaching contrary. You got a lot of explaining to do.
Shalom, shalom, first and foremost.
In the
coming weeks, I will be, and days, I'll be making certain announcements.
All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to Archeum, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. Your brother Yassad back at you with another lesson. Will not edify into the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you know? And this one here is going into we actually being closer and closer to the implementation of the Motb, because you're seeing the vibration, you're seeing that is in the atmosphere. Many countries speaking on that digitalization and whatnot, which we know is gonna soon lead up to the Motb. I just played that clip, you know, from our Apostle Taha, you know, which it was old news, but we know they're looking to go mission up speed, you know, to bring this digital system, just as China, just as in the UK, you know, in these areas, right? They're pushing this, and this is something that is coming worldwide. Even down here in Trinidad, they spoke about the digital ID system, the new unique identity, you know. The ex-Prime Minister Rowley, Dr. Keith Rowley, was speaking on it, you know, and many presidents to the four corners of the earth coming under that same vibration, because this devil is about to execute his master plan.
I will be, and days I'll be making certain announcements regarding the acceleration of Jamaica's intention to become a fully digital society. We are well on our way to this. We have established the national identification system. We have put in place our digital currency. We have given directions to our ministries to digitalize their operations. Most of our ministries are now moving from paper-based systems to digital systems. Our military is transitioning. The society is moving very quickly, very rapidly to become digital. Our banking consumers are seeing it as well, because the banks are moving very rapidly to digital. You have something now called artificial intelligence. Very soon this position of a human being exchanging cash and so on, that is going to disappear from the banking system very soon. And you are going to have to interface with machines. I don't want it to be a scary thought, but it is a thought that we all have to embrace.
A lot of people have been sending me this video, and it absolutely breaks my heart when Jamaica has so much influence and so much power over the world. When we look at places like Africa and all these other continents and countries that have resources like way on belief. You look at the Caribbean, we've got so much resources and we end up selling out ourselves. And if this is what this Prime Minister's doing, in a sense of building the new smart cities, and this is a way for them to just crash it down, so when they build it back up, they're going to have a digital ID. They're trying to push it as much as they can in Jamaica. The same thing what they're doing right now in Great Britain. The digital ID, guys, is not only something that's just going to be carried out, it's going to be mandatory everywhere, even if you go on holiday. But what's you guys' thoughts?
Moving from paper-based systems.
Yeah, because we just say this is something that you're gonna have to embrace. He also mentioned cash will no longer be a part. You won't no longer be, there won't be no more cash, and this year is all about this devil's plan, that total control, because from that digital is that Motb, a microchip in your hand, as you just heard, Bill Gates pushing that system for babies to be, receive a microchip in the hand. That is a new digital ID, But hey, let's get into the scriptures, because hey, it's a scary thing. I why hey, I'll bring off this first precept, you know, because hey, you're part of the spirit, because the way they are going, think about it. Just for example, that as soon as a baby is born, they have no choice but to receive that, because that will be the only thing that would that as soon as you're born, you go into the mothers enter into the hospitals. As the baby born, they're gonna have to receive that. Isn't this man a great devil, a demon? There wouldn't be no elect if that had begun already. But hey, that is why the Lord shortening the days. Now the elect being sealed in these times, because hey, this man is about to come down with that great wrath. Revelation 12:12. Let's get to Mark 13:20. And except the Lord had shortened those days. You hear the type of agenda they're pushing onto children, a child, a newborn baby, for that implementation of that micro hip. It says, and except the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he had chosen, had he shortened the days. Yeah, because pursuant to the Ezekiel, the 2nd Ezra 9 and verses 5, it's a for like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. That end going into what? That end actually going into the end of this man's rulership. And to manifest something, let's go into the word manifest. Right? The end being manifest. To clearly reveal to the eye or understanding, proved by direct evidence. Because listen this, the scriptures say they seek for a sign, but the Lord said now that no sign is gonna be given unto them, right? But what? The sign of Jonah, the prophet Jonas. Matthew 12:39. But he answered and said unto them, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And what that actually represents, the sign at the end would be the men of the Lord to wake up in these times, because they would give you the answers to what to look for, right? Because didn't the scripture in Amos say, Amos 3 and 6, shall a trumpet be blown in the city? A trumpet is actually a warning. When you see the blow of the trumpet, is either the enemy is soon about to evade, prep yourself, So shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people be not afraid? Shall there be evil in a city and the Lord had not done it? Surely. So before that evil comes, I will bring the Ezekiel chapter 3. It says, surely the Lord will do nothing but he reveal it, his secrets unto who? His servants, the prophets. So Yahweh plainly told you that what? The sign that you're going to receive is the prophet Jonah. Jonah's typing the prophet of the Lord. So in these times you're going to be looking out for who? The prophet of the Lord to direct you, the true man of the Lord to direct you, and that you may take heed of the warning. Right? Because book of Ezekiel 3, right? Ezekiel 3 and verses 3 and 17. Son of man, I have made thee what a watchman, right? or a watchman. What is a watchman? You know, a man who keeping on high alert. You know, let's get it. A guard, sentinel, a lookout. Figuratively, a guardian, a protector. Right? So is somebody looking out for something, and what the prophets is aware of, you know, and having the eye salves, having the eyesight to see is the prophecies, right? So the prophets now would come and they would cross-reference what was written in the book with the knowledge of the ancients, the prophecies that the prophets that all spake of. You know, they would cross-reference that to the things that are happening in these times. As the scriptures say in Jeremiah 3 and 16, 3:15, and the Lord will give you pastors according to his heart, according to his mind. So yes, the true prophets of the Lord are out upon the face of the earth, and they are doing the works. So Ezekiel 3 and 17, Son of man, I have made thee a prophet unto the house of who? Unto the house of Israel, not unto the world. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them what? Warning from me. So this is the point. The Lord what? Shall evil be done in a city except the Lord hadn't done it? But he revealed his secrets to the servant prophet. So the evil is coming, and it was revealed unto his prophets, and the prophets out here now warning you all. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked ways, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So the judgment's coming, things is gonna happen upon the face of the earth, and the Lord set up watchmen to warn the people before they be consumed, right? Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul, because the watchman has a duty to go out and warn the people of the said danger to come. So if the watchman doesn't warn the people, he gonna be held basically accountable for their death, because he didn't warn them, he didn't give them the warning. But the men of the Lord will surely give them the warning, right? You know, and that is where the men are great. So they come with that vibration, that spirit of the men of the Lord, because you know, it is plainly be revealed. You know, a lot of these other camps, they come with the doctrine, especially on the Motb, and it is no infrastructure, is no foundation or anything to support what they're actually saying, right? You know, because that end manifesting, the prophecy is showing, because the Revelation 19 and 10 says the spirit of Yahushai is the spirit of war. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou it now not, I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony, the proof, the evidence. Worship Yahweh for the testimony, for the old proof. The witness of Yahushua is the spirit of what? Of prophecy. And that is what the men of the Lord are into. Right? It is Sirach 39 and 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. Right? So here it is, we warn you all. You see just now the clip, they're pushing that digital system, because we see that is all stepping stones of gradualism, which is going to lead up to the Motb, that microchip, that going to have all of your information stored, your name, where you live, your birth Yeah. All the information on your birth certificate, your ID, everything is gonna come into one, right? Cash, your spending power is gonna be reliant upon that. That's why they mention, no more cash and these things. And that's gonna be a totally controlled operation, a totally controlled system that they're coming with, right? To the Habakkuk 2. Right? Habakkuk 2 and 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. The vision are the prophecies that has been spoken of, which is what the Motb, right? Revelation 13 and 10. Alright. 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in his right hand or in their foreheads. Right? So this is this prophecy that we have been, thoroughly emphasizing on, because we know that this year is a part of their agenda. And for that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name or of the beast or the number of his name, because this system had to be basically incorporated with your spending power. So that is why we're saying that do it tarry, wait upon it, because they having everything being set in place gradually to lead up to that. But at the end it shall speak and not lie, because we giving you the warning with the prophets telling you that's what it's gonna be, and not lie. Do it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. We see in the wars, the earthquakes, rumors of wars, uproars of the people heavily upon the face of the earth. We actually are in those times. And the system now, they're making it now to bring it into you having no choice. Isaiah 6:6, lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed. This broken system. The system depths are is out of bounds. The system laden with depths. That's why I seen Babylon crashing internally. Let's say of this stuff, of this broken region, Egypt, wherein if a man lean. So if you rely on to lean, you relying on, it will go into his hand, and that is where the system gonna lead you to that Motb system, that fully digitalized system, and pierce it. So whether in some part of your body, you're gonna have to receive that Motb soon to be a part of this man's system. That is your tokenization, that is your stamp, Yeah. Let's see. So is King Pharaoh, king of Egypt, right? To all that trust in him. Alright. Yeah. So you see where all these things is leading, right? That's why we always say, the scripture here, Isaiah 3:16, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read, none of these shall fail. So all of these things that we have been telling you, it may sound scary, it may sound that that thing gonna ever happen. It is not gonna fail, because again, it's the word of the Lord. It's not our words, we are just the messengers. None shall want me, for my mouth it had commanded, and the spirit it had guarded them. Right? But they're gonna come with the unrighteous decrees, and there's nothing you could do about it. Right? Isaiah 10 and 1, because this is going to take away the right of the people. You ain't going to have no say. Isaiah 10 and 1 warns you that decree unrighteous decrees and not right grievousness what they have prescribed. So basically they're going to make it where you have no choice. You have no other alternative, but you know. What we telling you is that we have our alternative, which is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. The scriptures say that the Lord knows how to deliver the godly from temptation. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and is safe. It's Isaiah 10 and 2 to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people. And I what they're gonna do on the, you know, they incorporate you and you take their Motb. There's not gonna be no turning back. That widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. Because the end of be all is a destruction at the end when you side with the beast. Revelation 14 and 9, and the third angel followed, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast or his image and receive his forehead or receive his mark in his forehead or in his right hand or in his hand. So whoever come now reliant on the system, take that Motb, so they could continue to participate in the things that the system has to offer, the internet, the social media. You know, you going into the groceries, you in the bars, in the gym. You know, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So there's a severe judgment for that. So the scriptures say, and I'll get that, you know, because we ought not to fear what man could do to you. You have to fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Matthew 10 and 28, and fear not them which kill the body. Alright, because the elect, they're gonna refuse. They're gonna refuse it, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. So we ought to fear Yahweh, which he had the power to allow us to continue longer to suffer in this chain of darkness, this hell, this lower state. And also we ought to fear Yahweh than fear man. You know? So I hope this lesson was edifying. Hey, we out here, as the scripture say, Isaiah 62 and 6. The Lord set watchmen upon the walls of Jerusalem, who are going to hold the peace day or night until Jerusalem becomes a praise. So hey, we continue to push in this word, warn you people until the end. So hey, hopefully this was edifying. All praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Kakodash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of good millstone. Until the next, Shalom.